We have a judge with us, huh?
The judge put up quite a struggle.
Wells Spicer. Big man.
And you would be John Ringo. I thought you had better sense.
Why didn't you turn Charlie Parks loose like I ordered you?
A circuit judge doesn't take orders from a hoodlum.
Parks ain't guilty.
That is for a judge and jury to decide.
Well, you won't be the judge.
I'll get a rope, Johnny.
Hold it! Hold it! Hold it! Spicer can still change his mind. Sit down and think it over.
Oh, Wyatt Earp, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told.
The Life and Legend of Wyatt Earp, starring Hugh O'Brien.
Judge Wells Spicer of Tombstone was generally regarded as the most fearless judge in Arizona territory. He backed Marshal Earp and the forces of law and order with complete disregard of his own safety. Although hoodlums seldom dared to threaten a judge, the Clanton killer known as Johnny Ringo was capable of anything. And when Spicer clashed with Ringo in the Charlie Parks trouble, Wyatt had good reason to fear the worst.
Forgot to fill my canteen.
Ain't hardly worth a stop, Mr. Granby. But since it's you, I'll do it. Are you heading for the mine?
Nope. The stamp mill in Charleston.
Oh.
Don't neither of you move or make a sound. Keep them covered. All right, Charlie, let's go.
Payroll. Where's Marshal Earp?
Well, he's checking the saloons at this time of night. Oh, Lord. Did you hear one of them say Charlie? Yeah, I think I know Charlie. I gotta tell Mr. Earp.
Are you certain it was Charlie Parks of the Clanton outfit?
I swear it, Marshal.
How about you, Mr. Granby?
Well, he fit the description of Parks, but I don't know Parks. Both of these men wore masks.
I'd take an oath it was Parks.
Mr. Granby, you say you lost $4,500?
Yep, in 10s and 20s.
Oh, does your office have a number list on these bills?
Well, we list about 1 in 10.
Help a lot. Now, you tell me exactly what happened.
Well, I was on my
Well,
water
that's
wagon,
all
and he
part
wanted me to fill his canteen, and I got up and I went around back of the wagon, to fill the canteen, and a guy stepped out there with a gun that long right in my back, scared me to death.
You've got to quit hanging around, Charlie. I like several of Clanton's men. Getting particular about one is trouble. Bad trouble.
I thought you meant it. About, going to Denver?
Oh, how can I do that? I'm in business with old man Clanton.
Some business. Hiding robbery loot. Fencing jewelry and Mexican gold.
It pays, Charlie.
You want to wind up in jail? Or dead?
Act your age. I can't run out, and you know it.
I'll marry you.
Huh.
John Ringo is my first cousin. You say the word, John will talk to old man Clanton. Ask him to let you out.
Ringo wouldn't let you marry me. Quick, in the other room. Just a moment. Who is it?
Your laundry, Miss Alma. Everything went fine.
It's all right, Charlie.
More loot?
Don't act so shocked. You're not so pure. You help Ringo and Clanton steal cattle. Here, the $200 I owe you.
I don't care about that.
Take it. Now get out.
But, Alma, honey.
Don't honey me. I ain't sweet. Good night, Mr. Parks.
Get in there and sit down.
That's him. That's him. That's Charlie Parks.
You better start talking, mister.
I got nothing to say.
Mr. Parks, you were carrying 4 $20 bills. They were taken from the robbery night. Where'd you get them?
They blew down the street, and I picked him up. Johnny Ringo's my first cousin. He won't like this.
Put him in there for the night, Mr. Gibbs.
Come on, bud.
Can you imagine that? $20 bills blowing down the street in Tombstone. And me up on a war wagon.
Now, Ringo, got you hold of your temper. I'll get young Parks out and hire him a lawyer. Getting mad at Judge Spicer, that don't make sense.
Charlie Parks wasn't in on that heist.
Then Spicer'll turn him loose.
I ain't beholden to no judge. A man has to take up for his kinfolk. And I'm making sure Charlie don't get railroaded.
I'm tired of nursing you, Johnny. You get in trouble this time, you get yourself out.
Wyatt, some of my hoodlum friends think you have the wrong man on that payroll heist.
Parks was carrying some of the stolen money.
Granted. Spouter will testify it was Parks. But if I know Charlie Parks, he wouldn't do anything without cousin John Ringo.
Oh. And what about that girl he's been seeing?
Well, if you're referring to Miss Alma Ross, the sweetheart of the Clantons. Let me tell you, Wyatt, a drone like Charlie wouldn't aspire to the queen bee. And if he did, Ringo would stop him.
You think Ringo will try to bust him out?
Bound to, Wyatt, bound to.
You better stay awake until Judge Spicer gets here. I may need you.
All right.
Are you Judge Spicer?
That's right.
Johnny Ringo will give me a message to give you. He says to turn Charlie Parks loose.
Who's Charlie Parks?
Turn him loose. That's all he said. Come on.
Where does Ringo think he's going to get threatening me?
Sir, when Ringo loses his temper, he doesn't think.
Well, bring in this Charlie Parks, huh?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Parks, this is only a preliminary hearing. You can plead guilty or not guilty or refuse to say anything at all.
I'm not saying nothing.
Very well. The court will set bail in the sum of $5,000. Do you have it? Marshal Earp, return the prisoner to jail.
Yes, sir.
This court is adjourned.
Hello.
I only heard enough evidence to justify holding Parks. The robbery was at night. The robbers were masked.
Well, I'm not sure that he was in on the job. Spotter could have been mistaken because of the masks.
Well, then why would Ringo threaten me?
Sir, Ringo once killed a man because he ordered beer when he ordered whiskey. He isn't exactly logical.
Well, I have a case to hear in Charleston. I'll be back tomorrow.
I wish you'd postpone it.
Why, because of Ringo? Nonsense. I've been threatened before.
Sir, Then let me go along, huh?
No, you stay here and work on the Parks matter. I can take care of myself.
Yes, sir.
But thanks, Wyatt.
Well, there isn't any sense in arguing with Judge Spicer. We'll just have to trail him. Here. Mr. Gibbs. You ready?
Yep.
He doesn't even ask where. We might have some shooting with Johnny Ringo.
Suits me.
Come on.
Marshal Earp. My name is Ross. Alma Ross.
Well, is it anything important, ma'am? We're in kind of a hurry.
I'd like to see Charlie Parks.
Well, you can see him in about 3 hours.
Marshal Earp, I know something about the law. Any prisoner has the right to have a visitor.
Don't rile him, Miss Alma. He's quite impervious to your charm or your scorn.
If you come back later, you can see him then.
Order! Court's in session.
Well, so now you're going to try me.
Just like you tried Charlie Parks.
I told you I didn't try him. It was only a preliminary hearing.
Well, I'll do the same thing, Judge. I'll give you a preliminary hearing. Order! Nothing funny about this. Is there, Judge?
No, there isn't.
Untie him, so he can raise his right hand and swear to tell the truth.
I think you know I'll tell the truth.
All right. Now, what evidence you got against my cousin Charlie?
Well, they grabbed him here. Headed for Apache Rock.
Come on.
As I said, the evidence against Mr. Parks thus far is circumstantial.
What does that mean?
When Parks was arrested, he had 4 bills from the stolen payroll on him. He refused to explain them.
Yeah, but who saw Charlie in that heist?
There is an eyewitness, Ringo. But the bandits wore masks, and I'm not convinced he's right.
Well, then you're holding Charlie just because of the money.
Not altogether. Your message ordering me to turn him loose was conclusive.
Huh?
I mean that any orders coming from a hoodlum like you shows that something's rotten. If Parks is not guilty, why should you risk a charge of abduction and contempt of court?
He's talked too long, Johnny. Let's hang him and get away from here.
Order! I want to say something to Big Man Spicer. You called me a hoodlum. Well, I wouldn't treat a dog the way you've acted about Charlie.
You deny he was in that holdup?
I sure do. Charlie don't do nothing without my say-so.
Yeah, that's right.
Order! Now, this court is going to ask you one last question, Judge. You going to turn Charlie loose?
Not until he's had his trial.
I'll crease Ringo's skull, and we'll jump him.
All right. I reckon I better pass sentence. Formal-like.
Hold it! Put on your guns. Unbuckle them. Come on, wake up, Ringo. Wake up. Come on, wake up. Doc, give me a hand.
We'll walk him around.
You take care of them.
Come on. Stand on your feet.
I'm gonna gun Ringo for this.
I claim priority.
You'll do nothing of the sort.
But he tried to kill you, sir.
This man is guilty of abduction and contempt of court, but he can't be gunned for that. And what I say applies to you, Dr. Holliday.
Holiday. It is, Doc. I'll shoot it out with any one of you.
Sit down.
He's a sweet character, ain't he?
He says Parks is innocent, and he seems sincere in his reasoning.
Sincere? Ringo?
Judges,
We save you from getting shot, and all you keep thinking about is justice for Charlie Parks.
Ringo will get away with this attempt, sir. He'll demand a change of venue from your court. You'll have to grant it.
That's right. One of them Clanton judges will acquit him for sure.
That isn't the point.
What is the point?
Wyatt has a crime of armed robbery to solve. Now, if Parks goes to court, he could be convicted just because he's a hoodlum. Now, do you want that?
No, sir.
Well, then act like it. And you, Dr. Holliday, must I remind you that you once stood trial on a framed-up charge?
I stand reproved, Your Honor.
Very well. Now take these men to jail. There's time yet to work on the robbery.
Yes, sir. May I ask where you're going?
To Charleston. I have to hear a case there, remember? I'm more than an hour late now.
Wyatt, I think maybe we better solve that payroll heist another way.
You know, I think you're right. Come on.
You've got a nerve.
You going someplace, Miss Alma?
Get out of here.
I told you she'd try this, Wyatt.
Miss Alma, you're under arrest.
That's a laugh.
Doc, you take her over there and sit her down. Mr. Gibson and I'll turn this place inside out.
My pleasure.
Shotgun, take that room.
Tearing down the hotel, Wyatt?
No. We have enough evidence now.
What? There's a walled-up closet in there. Just looky here. And she had this and a hollered-out bedpost. Just take a look.
From Mexico, no doubt. All those jewels and you two? It's quite a treasure, Wyatt.
Funny man.
Miss Alma, did you plant those payroll banknotes on Charlie?
What do you take me for? I owed Charlie $200 and I paid him. How did I know the mine kept the numbers?
I don't suppose you'd care to tell us who pulled the robbery.
You haven't proved anything.
A young lady living in the middle of all these here stolen goods, worth thousands.
I'll explain it all in court, Mr. John Law.
Now, this is a story I simply must hear.
Come on.
You got something, Doc?
I warned Ringo plain to his face. Kidnapping a judge, threatening to hang him. Why, I never heard of such tomfoolery. All right. What do we do about it?
That part's easy. We have him changed to one of our own judges. It's the girl I'm worried about.
You mean Alma?
Earp caught her red-handed. All kinds of stuff in her room.
Well, pretty girl collects presents.
Not robbery loot, Mr. Clanton.
You just defend her, Baxter. That's what you paid for.
You gonna let Spicer try her?
He's a man, ain't he? You know Alma.
Well, all right.
No slip-ups now. I need that gal. Best hand in the outfit comes to selling goods.
You know what? I was just trying to imagine old man Clanton's face. He must be apoplectic by now.
It's no use, Doc. I got 3 people in jail, and I still haven't found the men that held up Granby.
That's quite true, Deacon.
You said that Ringo wouldn't like it if Charlie was sweet on Miss Alma.
Ringo would not allow it.
Why not?
He is a bully and a tyrant. Even Ringo can't be a king without a kingdom. Charlie is his kingdom.
Well, Ringo's got plenty of followers.
They're not all cowards.
Well, thanks, Doc. I guess it's worth a try.
What is?
Well, it's just a hunch. I'll let you know if it works out.
What's wrong, Charlie? Alma cleared you. You're free. I made my bail. Cheer up.
I can't. I'm worried about Alma.
Ah, the old man will get her off.
He'd better. I want to marry her.
No. But Cousin John, I love her. I said no. Get on your horse.
Now, you must be brave and tell the truth.
It was horrible. I thought the silver things were presents. We were going to be married and have our own house and...
Mr. Baxter.
Your Honor.
The defendant asserts that she was tricked by a criminal. The court would like to know his name.
Oh, no. Please, no. He'd kill me.
Miss Ross, the court must warn you that fear of your paramour in no way lessens your responsibility before the law.
Do you expect me to risk my life?
I'm sure the court appreciates what terror this little lady has lived under. If the court please, the defense rests.
Very well. This court is adjourned till 10 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Earp!
What's this, Ringo?
Them two pulled the robbery. Passed the stuff to Alma. She gets rid of it.
Who for?
Never mind that. I gave them knockout drops. They won't know how they got here.
Fair enough.
You tell Judge Spicer he's getting off lucky. He ought to be more careful.
Your Honor, we intend to prove...
Order! Order! Marshal Earp, what's the meaning of this?
Your Honor, these men have confessed to the mine payroll robbery. And they also wish to testify against Miss Alma.
Ringo did this, I know it. Don't you dare testify against me. You hear? Don't you dare!
Order! Order in the court! Order! Order in this court! Mr. Brandt and Mr. Haley, you are sentenced to 5 years in prison for armed robbery. Miss Ross, you will serve 18 months in jail at Tucson. Marshal, remove the prisoners.
Run out this way.
Good work, Mr. Earp. Oh, Mr. Earp. Call John Ringo to the bench.
Ringo? Come on up here. You want me to come and get you?
Mr. Ringo, you kidnapped and attempted to intimidate a judge of the territory of Arizona. You will be charged and tried for your crime in a higher court at Prescott. You will have a chance there to explain your actions, if you can, to a federal judge.
I just came in here to watch the trial. You can't do this to me.
I already have, Mr. Ringo. This court is adjourned.
Well, he cleaned up the country, the old Wild West country. He made law and order prevail. And none can deny it, the legend of Wyatt forever will live on the trail. Oh, Wyatt Earp, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his baby